Welcome to Taxi Life, a city driving simulator. Today we're taking a first look into the game, just to give you a bit of an idea what the game's about and how it plays. I'm going to try and show you as much as I possibly can today, so I might have to skip some bits, but I'm generally just going to keep it quite chill and just try and show you as much as I possibly can. Now, although this has a career, it doesn't have a definitive end. You can play this game infinitely, and it's just come out really for PC at the time of me starting this recording, so it has come out today. If you've been on console though, you've already had it since the start of the day. They had to push out an update, but now it's live for absolutely everybody. So I'm going to jump in. We're going to have a go and see what it's all about. And I'm going to be using controller today. I will be using a wheel at some point, and if you'd like me to do another video with me using a wheel, I can do so as well. But today we're going to go and do the controller experience and see how it's like. But before we dive in, I am going to show you the settings as I normally do in a first look. So let's go in, and I'm going to just show you the video settings here. I know some of you might be interested in what you can change, what you can't change. I've turned the music down a little bit. I don't even know if YouTube is going to be kind to me. I'm not sure. I'm taking a risk here. So hope it doesn't get striked. We've also got keyboard and mouse. And then we've got controller and steering wheel as well. So that's what you can all do. And as always with all these first look videos, I haven't played this game yet. This is the first time of me experiencing it. I like to make it nice and authentic for you all. So that's all the settings. Let's start our new career. And we're obviously going to name ourselves... well, me, Maverick. Hi. And we can choose from 1, 2, 3, or 4. We're gonna go with this dude, number 2. Right. Company name. What do we think? The Maverick Taxi Company, right? Right, there we go. Mav Incorporated. And we're gonna choose... oh, what do we think? Oh, there's quite a few to choose from here, but I do like my cars. So, where is it? I saw it earlier. There it is. There we go. Company colours. Okay, so there's no hex. Well, there is a hex. Just you can't input a hex, I'm assuming. No, you can't. Well, let's go for kind of a Maverick blue. Say that. We're gonna keep. Tell you what, we'll keep the. We're going to keep the... let's go with that blue. We're going to keep the taxi yellow. That's what we're going to do. Right. Okay. Next.
Welcome to the vibrant city of Barcelona, where history meets modernity in a symphony of architectural wonders. From the bustling, narrow streets of the Gothic Quarter to the breathtaking landmarks the city has to offer, your journey as a taxi driver begins. Feel the sea breeze on your face as you cruise along sun-kissed beaches and embark on an unforgettable adventure. Embrace the spirit of Barcelona and become the most sought-after taxi driver in town. But first, let's get you a taxi driver's license. Hey there, welcome to our driving school. Before you hit the bustling streets of Barcelona to ferry people around, we gotta teach you how to drive first. So let's get started.
You mean I can't just go in and drive around like a maniac, no?
To the city by selecting the appropriate option from the pause menu.
Right, so I'm going to do a little bit of this, and then I'm going to skip forwards. But most of this is all interactable, even the visors, which is cool. That's very cool. Yeah. So I covered this in my everything we know so far about it, and you can... there's obviously a radial wheel, but you can also just select the buttons like this, go down here, collision detection, AC, change mode, and obviously the engine.
Very good. The engine is turned on and you see that the dashboard panel is now working. There is lots of interesting information. For example, your speed and fuel level. Red and orange icons inform you that something wrong is happening with your car. However, your car is new and ready to go, so for now, you won't have to worry about that. Release the handbrake by pressing the handbrake button. Very good. Now you can drive. Increase the speed by pressing the acceleration button and drive to the marker in front of you. You can brake by pressing the brake button and turn the wheels with the turning buttons.
So I'm just checking the sensitivity here, because I know that will be interesting for you controller players. I'm kind of slowly turning the stick there. It seems okay default. I haven't changed any settings, so...
Great job! Just keep in mind that the game will require you to make numerous precise maneuvers. Your level of control over the car will depend on the type of control device you're using. The control system has been designed to enable you to navigate through narrow streets. Look at how much you can turn the steering wheel. It's worth noting that the steering wheel and the car's wheels turn slowly at the start and then pick up speed as they approach their left or right limit. If you're ready,
yeah, I'm not sure about
the car
that.
in the marked
Increasing.
space in front of you. Of course, you can change the view by pressing the view button.
The view button. Oh. Oh, the different views. Cool. So the turning and the acceleration of all that wasn't too bad. I wasn't hammering it down 100% on the throttle on the controller trigger. I was slowly increasing it in. So that's why it was relatively smooth, actually. So that's good. That's good. Okay, so we have now just finished the sort of tutorial. Start the handbrake on, that helps. I'm just going to put it in third person. Just so you can kind of see some surroundings here. Because we've just been told to refill ourselves up here. So let's put that handbrake on, and then this is how the refueling is going to work. 2 options, partial or to the max. Well, we're going to be realistic. And we're going to do it manually. I did say I wanted to show you everything, so I want to show you refueling and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, similar way, electric cars and the car washes, yeah. So this is the map. I'm assuming the grayed out areas are bits where we kind of haven't been or is kind of unlocked. It looks like when you're going around, the cursor seems to lock onto some of these icons by the look of it. There's some more settings I can show you, actually. And that's the game settings that you don't get access to in the main menu, coincidentally, which I find a little bit weird. I would have thought that you would. Right. Before that goes green, that's the wrong button. That button. These are the game settings. So arcade is what it is right now. I'm probably going to switch this, you know, probably after I've gone through with this video, and I'm probably going to go sim. Because I do like doing stuff in sim, and you can change the difficulty from normal, hard, and easy. And obviously the acceleration sensitivity and braking sensitivity. So if you're on controller and you find it a little bit too sensitive, you could always dial that in to your own discretion. I obviously want to show you everything default, how it comes out of the box, if you will. Now, while we're traveling to the garage, I do want to just kind of point out, while we're in third person, the default third person I feel is a little bit too close for my personal taste. I don't know about anybody else, because this is the only kind of sort of this view. But this is kind of how everything kind of looks. Oh, actually, we need to be turning here. But these are the sort of views. You've got inside, you've got the bonnet, you've got that one, and then you've got this one. Can I sneak in? I can sneak in. Look at that. I keep knocking my indicator on because I'm not used to the fact that it auto turns off. I'm used to these sorts of sims not having that feature in, and me having to manually do it. I think Boss Sim doesn't do it, which is probably why I'm so used to having to do it manually. So a nice little feature, that's good. So let's have a look at our garage. If I can turn at the correct place, that would be nice. There are some people here. Are they scripted to just turn around? I think they are. Okay, that's fine. So this is what your maintenance looks like. So we've got you can refuel from here and do all that kind of stuff. Or your maintenance here as well, which is cool. This is the player progression, the perks tree. We actually have one. So we could go for tourists, proficiency, maintenance, law obedience, and company. Well, I don't think it's any worth going for salaries right now. But maybe... maybe maintenance. Let's go into there. But I do want to kind of show you, while we're in this menu, all the perks. Just so you can kind of have a look. I'm not going to read them all out. I'm going to let you kind of read them as I'm going through these. Just so you can have a bit of an idea of what you can sort of unlock. And hopefully I'm not going through them too quickly. I think this is a good start though for a perks tree. I wonder if they are going to expand at any point. Thus far I'm enjoying it. Obviously this is like the first sort of segment of the video, first segment of the game. And obviously to you the video is going to be a lot shorter than my recording time. You know, I might have been playing this for half an hour, but generally I want to keep these roughly 20 minutes long or so. You also have statistics, so this is all sort of your distance travelled and all that kind of stuff. And so you don't really have an odometer per car, but you do have this, which is cool. And these are all the sort of cars that you have. So this is the one that you kind of have at the moment. So we've got the SMC, we've got the Sedna, the Halcyon. I'm guessing at these pronunciations here. The Alphilion, which is, I think, yeah, it's what we have here. The Parallax. Kind of looks kind of Tesla-y at the front, doesn't it? That is an electric car as well. And this looks very German, very Mercedes. But let's actually look through that. That's combustible, as in combustible engine. That's electric. combustible, that's electric, that's combustible. So there's 2 electric cars in there. So a bit of variety. These are all the sort of parts in here. So you can upgrade your car. So there's a bit of progression in here. It might depend per car. So I could go for a full manual if I wanted to. By the look of that, 5-speed manual gearbox for simulation mode control in simulation mode. So if I set it to simulation mode, I'd have to shift up properly. But I suppose if I switch it to manual now, it wouldn't matter in arcade mode. I'm assuming that's how it works. You've got a bit of customization. So you've got the upholstery. I'm also supposing each car will have its own. We've got lock stuff as well. You know, some more quirky sort of interior stuff. That's cool. Some things are locked as well. So yeah, it looks like there's plenty of progression here. Outside color, if you wanted to. Some lovely stuff. By the way, I do have the supporters edition. That's what I personally have felt that is the one that I can justify the price for. You decide on your own time. You've got Underglow. If you want to be all fast and furious, you can do. If you want to be a bit memey, I suppose you could, couldn't you? You've got the taxi signs, so you've got different ones, different styles. So because I've got the supporters edition, I might have a few differently. So even if you haven't bought the supporters edition, you can buy the supporters sort of upgrade DLC as a separate entity as well. I think it's roughly £7 or whatever the equivalent is in your currency. And resting. It looks like we can rest if we want to. We can rest up to 8 hours if you want to skip some time. Get started. This is a one-way road, is it? Or is it two-way? Might be two-way, actually. So I can actually open that through that, that's cool. Is there a way to change the map at all? Because I'm guessing here. Oh, that's the wrong way. Okay. Alright, here we are. There's a little cutscene as well. So I did figure out the sat-nav thing. There's a shortcut if you put down the left button or the right button and down on the D-pad. It actually changes the screen, which I obviously did by accident, or it did that by default, not quite sure. So if I do it now, that's what it changes to, and that's obviously the reverse camera. In this view I can't actually see where the lights are. There it is. Speed bump. So hopefully this is sort of giving you an idea of what the game's about, what you can do in it. But I mean, as you kind of saw, once you've done the tutorial, which is a bit of a kind of learning school, whatever, you can basically do what you want, really. And it's as far as you want to go. Yeah, that was turning orange. You want it to be turning here. We're almost here. Short one, this one, but I suppose a good sort of demonstrator for you. And honestly, controller isn't too bad. I quite like it in its default. It's not perfect, I must admit, but as long as you do smooth controls, you'll be all good. There we go. There's another one. In fact, there's a task right opposite us, actually. So I found a little place to kind of park just to wrap up the video. If you want my initial thoughts, what's good, what's bad, to be improved, that snapping in the map to each point when you're just having to browse through the map is a little annoying, I must admit. I think it's accessible for both controller players and for wheel players. Obviously, this was controller-based, was this video, but from my experience, even by the default settings, it's been pretty good. And I like the fact that you can customize your experience based on what you want. If you want a full arcade experience, you can. If you want a full simulation experience, you can do that as well. And that's fine. And I like that. It makes these sort of simulation games accessible to absolutely everybody, whether you have a steering wheel or you don't. The map overall, I think, looks relatively small, but I also think that they've done a great job on the design. I mean, look at it. It feels full of life. It feels like you're in a city. It feels a lot different. I like the location of Barcelona. Everywhere in all these games tends to focus on, maybe the simulation games does tend to have a bit of a focus on Germany, but in the grand scheme of things of gaming in general, it tends to focus on the US, so it's quite nice going into a different country. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to recommend this game or not. You need to base that from this video. That's what this video is for. I'm not going to tell you to buy it. I'm enjoying it thus far. And for a game that's on this sort of caliber, not sort of AAA, I think the graphics look okay. They look decent. For this sort of game, this is what I would expect. They're not incredibly amazing, but they're quite good. As for performance, I've got a very good PC. So at the moment, I'm sitting at 120 frames. But I noticed when I was... Oh, that's someone that's clipped a car. There you go. AI making mistakes right in front of us. I did notice my frame rate was maybe going above... It was definitely above 60. I was maybe doing 70, 80 frames or so. So overall, that's kind of sort of my experience. That's sort of my thoughts initially. That's going to conclude our first look. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. I hope this video has made you make an informed decision of whether you want to pick it up or not. It is available on both consoles and PC. Consoles don't have wheel support yet. That, for some people, I know that's a really big deal breaker. But as I've demonstrated today, controller is relatively fine. So if you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, and like to see more content like this one, make sure you are subscribed. Let me know in the comments below, would you like a video when I'm using my wheel? And what are your thoughts on the game? Whether you've just been watching this, based on your impressions, what do you think? Or if you've bought the game, what do you think from actually playing it? Good, bad, what are the positives, what are the negatives? What do you think? I make racing and simulation content, usually informative content on the channel, so stick around if that interests you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.